few minutes there. But to morning, my goodness, I can't talk. To morning, that made sense, don't it? So friends, over the past day or two, when I've had time, I've been working on this wood chipper, getting it assembled. It took me about 2 days, but like I said, I didn't work on it constantly. I had a lot going on here at the farm. Just worked on it for a few minutes here, a few minutes there. But tomorrow, my goodness, I can't talk. Tomorrow, that made sense, don't it? But this morning, rather, I got it finished up, put some oil in the motor, went ahead and put the battery on it, brought it down here to the sawmill and did some tests with it. So this wood chipper, guys, it's made by BILT. I'll leave a link down below in the video description where I ordered mine. This isn't no kind of affiliate or nothing like that. If you buy one of these, I don't make any money off of it. It's got a 420cc motor right there. It does have a key switch right there, so it's easy to turn it on. But for some reason, if your battery's dead, you can always pull it right here. It's got a choke over there, all the basic features on a gas motor. It does not have a hydraulic feed. This one's gravity fed, and I think it's good enough, guys, because it pulls the wood and it violently kind of pulls it in there really fast, so no trouble there. And this right here is an emergency stop. So if you get in trouble, you can push that down and turn it off. Pretty nice little chipper. Hooks up to your side-by-side or four-wheeler, tractor, whatever you want to do. Now you cannot take this down the road. It's not roadworthy or nothing like that. And over here on this side, of course, you got the chute. That's adjustable right there. And I need to redo this because I don't have it aligned correctly. It's kind of moving a little. It's got a little trigger right there that falls into a hole, which makes it adjustable, but I'll have to redo that. I didn't get it lined up when I put it together. That's my fault, not the chipper's. So it's pretty basic as far as a wood chipper goes, and it's really affordable. This thing is less than $2,000. I thought it was a pretty good deal. And there's a lot of reasons why I bought this, so let's get into that. So I do have a wood chipper, but it hooks on the back of a tractor. It's a 3-point hitch wood chipper. And to be honest with you, it is a pain to put on the tractor. It's awful. It takes sometimes an hour. It's really heavy. It's really bulky. It kind of swings out to the side. You almost hit stuff with it. And I don't like it. That's why you guys haven't seen on this channel in a long time. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to sell it. So that's why I got this one. I wanted one with its own power unit. That way I could just hook up to it, bring that here, make some wood chips, and I have to go through a lot of trouble. The tractor one is just a pain. It also puts extra hours on your tractor on top of that. And somebody told me one time that they're hard on tractors. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea, but somebody did tell me that one time. He worked at a tractor place. He said a tractor 3-point hitch wood chipper is the worst thing you can put on one. Don't know if that's true, but that's what he told me. But that wasn't the main reason. The main reason was it was so bulky and just a pain to put on there. It does add another engine into your maintenance fleet, so now I got to change oil on another engine, but I think it's worth it. And as far as what I like to chip, guys, are these trimmings off the edge. This is poplar, but it could be anything. And this is not good for stickers. You guys ask me all the time about that. It's not good for stickers because it's not the same dimension on all four sides, and all these sizes are different. Can't make stickers with that. But it does make really good wood chips for that building way up there, the chicken house and the chicken run, and it keeps me from having to buy them. Now friends, the wood chipper is rated for 5-inch material. That's on the diameter, and I doubt I'd send anything through at that size. Most of these trimmings that come through the edger are usually around 1x1s and stuff like that. And these are actually kiln dried as well. But I'd like to send my slabs that I cut off my logs through it, but the slabs are going to be way too big. So in the future, I think I'm going to put my slabs back on the sawmill after the log's done and kind of edge them like I would an edger when I'm edging boards, and get them edged down a lot smaller to at least 2 inches wide and stuff like that. That way I can send them through the edger later on. I'm sorry, not through the edger, through the chipper later on, and that will cut down on the slabs I have to burn here at the sawmill. And also, guys, real fast, this is a cedar log I got in yesterday. I showed this at the first of the video. This thing is 27 feet long. It came from a logging job about 5 miles away. The forester didn't really have a market for it because people around here don't hardly buy cedar. I like to buy cedar, so that's why he brought it to me. But to be honest with you guys, I was kind of surprised when he pulled up with it. He told me he had some cedar logs, but he didn't tell me he had an entire tree. All right, guys, let's fire this wood chipper back up. And real fast, there's one thing I would add to this wood chipper that's not on it, and that is an hour meter. It didn't come with one, but you can get those off Amazon. They're like $2 or $3. I think I have a spare one in the shop. I'll mount it somewhere to the motor. That way I can keep up with my maintenance on this motor. So let's go ahead and fire it up and make some more chips with this old poplar right here. Once I get a pretty good pile over here, I'll bring the tractor down, we'll scoop them up, take them up to the chicken house.